Welcome to this latest editorial, and of course today we've seen that on the 2nd of August that we've seen the changes to the restrictions in terms of the COVID-19 implications for the hotel and hospitality industry. You would by now be aware that we've gone from 25% or 1 in 4 to 1 in 2, 50%. That's welcome, but that's probably where the benefits stop. We still have seated consumption, which all of you, including us, can't understand that, but it is what it is. That's one of the particular emphases of SA Health. We have no singing or dancing, although bands can play. We're allowed to have competitive sports coming back, and in venues that means competitive darts, competitive 8-ball and things like that. And that'll all be happening from the 5th, Thursday the 5th of August. Disappointing because we would have thought that after 14 days, after a lockdown that we had, the further restrictions and no community transmission of the virus, that in fact we should be restored to stand-up drinking and essentially 75%. That hasn't happened. We will continue the advocacy both behind the scenes and publicly. It's worth for your own knowledge and understanding that should you have interest from customers asking questions or talk to your local politician, you'll be aware that for Western Australia, for your own knowledge of what's happening there, 4 weeks ago they had a lockdown, some 2 million people in the south-west corner of WA, not country areas. Here we are 4 weeks later, they're at 100% capacity, no restrictions anywhere across the state. Northern Territory is not dissimilar. Interestingly, Queensland, which has just extended its lockdown until next Sunday, that's restricted to the southeast corner of Queensland. So 85% of the landmass of Queensland, where all those hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cafes and restaurants and pubs in the country, they're not subjected to any restrictions other than what was normally in place, and masks are not an obligation, just an option. So there is an ability to be flexible, which doesn't seem to be demonstrated here in South Australia. We will continue to advocate to the Transition Committee. It seems a nonsense that an outbreak in Modbury impacts on Roxby Downs, Peterborough, Whyalla, Port Lincoln, Ceduna, etc., etc. It just seems grossly unfair and particularly impacts a level of economic pain on your employees and yourselves for what is clearly no good reason. Look, our observation are there's real tensions within the Transition Committee. It's clear from the press release of today, the 2nd of August, that Health wanted to maintain 25%, and our own knowledge and understanding of the process would be again that SAPOL, for good common sense reasons, have overridden that. It hasn't gone anywhere near as far as we think it should, and we'll, as I say, we'll make representation on that. But the road back has started, and certainly we would think that as long as we can continue to prove that the QR code system works and that we're pushing it and making sure people participate, encouraging everyone who you know to get a vaccine, that we'll be heading back in the right direction, and lockdowns of the future will be increasingly more difficult to impose. All the best, keep safe, and we'll talk soon.